Hello, hello. Welcome to a special Saturday morning edition of Sunday Morning Coffee with Caryn. I am actually about to go out of town and go completely off grid for the next 36 hours. I'm turning off my phone, I'm doing all of that. So we're having a special version today. We're also doing a lot more magic than we're normally doing. I'm doing a dragon invocation, so this is being shared on both of my YouTube channels since there's going to be a whole lot of magic over there. Okay, just sharing this out. Perfect. So say hi when you're here. Love it so much. Okay, just want to make sure that I can see everyone's chats. Perfect. So, hey Christine. So today we're talking about the solstice. So here in America, and on the northern hemisphere, not just in America, obviously, in the northern hemisphere, we are celebrating the summer solstice today, and all of you in the southern hemisphere are celebrating the winter solstice. So the solstice is really the celebration of the sun, right? We know that ancient civilizations even created their pyramids, Stonehenge, Machu Picchu, all of these amazing ancient sites that we see are really lined up with the sun. The special things will happen on the solstices or equinoxes. So they knew that the sun was such an important part of everything. They knew that the sun really was the life-giving part that they had, that if the world was in darkness all the time, that they would not be surviving. So they really honored the sun that way. And today's an extra special day because we also are having a solar eclipse that is happening. I should have had this pull up already, but we'll look up at the exact time. It's over India. It's a ring of fire eclipse, so that's always fun. Those are pretty intense as well. It's tomorrow in the eastern hemisphere. It's today here. Let me see what time it is. Where to see it? The annual solar eclipse will be at 12:47 a.m. Eastern. So that's still like tonight here. So it'll be like 11 p.m.
My name is Oscar, and I deliver packages for Amazon.
Where I am right now, it'll be like 11 p.m. tonight, so we can watch it on. I always just watch eclipses that I can't see here in America. I will watch them on the internet because someone somewhere has a really good view of it. And since it's also a ring of fire eclipse, meaning it's not going 100%, it's going to like 99%, I have been giving all of my clients the same homework all week long to do a fire burning ritual on top of whatever solstice ritual you are already going to do, specifically working around any paternal wounds, any patriarchal patterns. Yes, last week in Sunday Morning Coffee with Caryn, I talked all about the inner patriarchy, and next week we're going to be actually talking about adoration of the divine masculine, which had originally been the Father's Day topic until my husband surprised me with this weekend trip, and I am never going to say no to my husband planning a trip where the kids are already all taken care of. He's like, I got this cabin, I'm doing that. Like, hell yeah, babe, let's go. So everyone around the world has a different way that they're going to be celebrating the solstice. I am not here to talk a full on about the solstice in any more ways than I really think that you should be celebrating. It's midsummer, so if you ever read A Midsummer's Night's Eve, it's talking about the magic that can occur tonight on the summer solstice, on the longest day of the year. And there's all sorts of magic and nymphs and centaurs and all these fun things. And you really get this sense of magic and wonder. And it's also it's the end of the first harvest season, and the fact that like you're not going to be getting any more peas, Your lettuces and those sorts of things are probably going to start bolting. It's getting hotter, and you're going to be starting to look forward to harvesting things like your corn and your tomatoes and those sorts of things. So you're going into this period where right now would be when you're planting your pumpkins and your squashes and all of that to go into the October final harvest of Samhain. So it's a beautiful time to just celebrate, right? You're celebrating the end of the spring harvest, celebrating the end of the summer planting, just having a big ass party, knowing that you still have a lot of work to go and do throughout the rest of the summer and the harvest season before you can really relax. And on the flip side of the world, for you guys all in the southern hemisphere, you're in the deepest part of hibernation phase, in the part where now for you everything's going to start waking back up again. So the fact that it is a solar eclipse on the solstice either way really gives you again that chance to look at all the shadows in your relationship with the masculine. Look at all of the daddy issues. Look at all of the places of abandonment, of control, of power abuse, of fear. Anything that has to do with the man or the patriarchy, today is a beautiful time to be really diving in and clearing those out. And that's why I chose that instead of doing a normal big long talk, I was going to come on, give a short little thing about the solstice, go over the dragons that came to me earlier this week that want to be called forth, and do an invocation for you. It's going to be short, fast, and dirty today. Not only because I'm packing to leave and have to go pick up the rental, but because there's so much going on. The only other thing I want to say, actually, I'll hold it to the end. So let's dive into some dragons. So the deck that I use is the Diane Cooper Dragon Oracle deck. Diane Cooper Dragon Oracle deck. It is by far my favorite deck when it comes to all things dragons. I know that there are other ones that exist. I'm sure that eventually I will be creating one, but I just love it so much. It's very clean, it's very simple, and I connect very quickly to each of these dragons. So up first, we have, I show them as a pair because they really are the pair, the golden solar dragon and the silver lunar dragon. So as their names imply, they are the divine masculine and the divine feminine aspects in more closely related, more materialistic ways. So we also, within this deck and within just in general, you have the alpha dragons and the omega dragons, which are the really highest level of frequency of divine masculine and divine feminine. The golden solar dragons and the silver lunar dragons bring in the power of our material world, so the material sun, the material moon, and help inject that magic into us. So I wanted to call them in because of the fact that we are here on a solar, not only do we have, again, that eclipse happening today, the solstice, sorry, not only is the solstice happening, but the eclipse is occurring, right? So the moon is going to be going directly in front of the sun as it enters Cancer. So it's moving from Gemini, which is the sign of the lovers, into Cancer, which is the sign of the chariot. And that's really that it's a very emotional time. It's a time of really, again, letting the waters wash away any of those old woundings that are going on. Oh, I'm showing the wrong camera, guys. Jesus Lord. Here, guys, up here. I forgot that the camera is not down there. It's up here. I'm so sorry. I use my laptop to stream this because my desktop has issues, but then I use my desktop camera because it's better. I am so sorry about that. So, oh my goodness. Those are the dragons that we're dealing with here. So the golden solar, again, you can see there, and the silver lunar dragon. So I'm just going to read each one individually for you. So the golden solar dragon helps you stand in your masculine power with wisdom. Let your DNA be reprogrammed and light codes activated. Become an inspired leader. So the golden solar dragon is actually one of the overlighting leaders of, or mentors of, super conscious leaders, which is the membership group that I run that is filled with it's this interplanetary it is, because we have all sorts of people and beings, intergalactic beings, inner earth beings, but it's a global community of emerging leaders. So those leaders of industry, those leaders of their own houses, anyone who wants to use super conscious living as a way to lead their lives and then to then step forward and springboard, because once you're leading your own life, once you're leading your own family, once you're leading within your business, then leading in bigger capacities, such as within your community and such as um, within your community and within your the cause, right? A lot of the people that end up working with me have a really big cause, so much bigger than themselves. So today's activation is really going to be pulling in for you the any DNA activation. So DNA activation, when you hear that, it's because we're moving out of being carbon-based beings and into crystalline DNA. So there's been a lot of healings and a lot of clearings that have occurred over the last, well, several hundred years, but even if you start with the New Age movement that started more in the 1960s, it was still a whole lot about healing and clearing, which is very important. Obviously, we wanted to heal our old traumas and clear away old baggage and old ties that are not necessary for us. But nature abhors a vacuum. So the fact that we didn't know that activation was such an important part means that a lot of people have had what I call sloppy energetics done, where the clearing happened and the healing happened, but because nothing else was there to like fill the gap, old patterns were able to very quickly return. So all of my dragon invocations are for healing, clearing, and activation. They do all three of them at once, so that at the end you are left with only a clear shining bubble of your own unique frequency filling all the gaps, and you don't have to worry about cords reattaching. We don't even do cord cuttings. We're actually doing cord incinerations. So the whole cord on both ends gets completely lit up and fired away. And again, becoming that inspired leader. That's what the golden solar dragon really does. Becoming that inspired. So inspiration, that injection of the inspiration. So every week inside Super Conscious Leaders, I actually do a live training. And that's what this week's training was all about, was getting that injection of the masculine, checking your container. There's a difference between like checking to make sure that your cup, like, okay, yeah, it's in integrity, and then like taking something and stabbing it and being like, is it in integrity? Is it in integrity? And women, for some reason, we have this, mostly because of daddy issues, to be honest, patriarchal issues in some respect, are we have this habit of poking the bear instead of really actually testing a container or like making sure it's in integrity. So the second dragon that again we already saw her, the silver lunar dragon, this beautiful woman, bathes you in the divine feminine light. Come into balance and practice peace, harmony, and cooperation. Expand your causal chakra. So your causal chakra is the chakra that's above your head. It's like your own personal moon, and it can get knocked out of alignment. So it actually can end up sitting kind of behind you because it's causal. So the things that are going to cause what's happening in your life. So it can end up being behind you because you're not actually willing to receive the things that you want. So anything that's coming from the backside is your ability to receive, and then anything that's happening on the front side is your ability to give that same energy. The best example is in your heart. If you say something like, I'm going to be a millionaire, where does it land in your body? A lot of people say it's in their heart, and then I say, well, what side of your heart? And some people, it's the front of their heart, meaning they don't know what they could give that would allow them to be worth $1 million. And other people say it's on the backside, so they don't know what, like, they don't feel worthy of receiving the $1 million. So even though it's the same $1 million and it's the same chakra, where it lands, your chakras are three-dimensional. Because we're always looking at pictures of them, we think of them as two-dimensional, but they're actually three-dimensional, like spheres inside of you. So the causal chakra is like this big moon that sits back here, and it's where you go when you're meditating or when you're doing visualizations or any of that. You're projecting into the causal chakra, and the silver lunar dragons help move that causal chakra back into full alignment, so you're getting a direct line straight in from source. So what happens is you have all your source energy come in and it hits the causal chakra, but because the causal chakra is set back, it might not actually come into you through your crown chakra except for in the form of dreams. So the causal plane and the astral plane are very not interchangeable, because again, the causal plane is where you're really going when you're consciously awake and you're projecting out, like you're doing visualizations. Again, that's the best example. Or when you're sitting, like when you're sitting there looking at your vision board and you're able to really see yourself, your dreamland, your daydream land is what I consider it. So the causal plane is like daydreaming, and the astral plane is nighttime dreaming, where you're like totally detached from your body. But they're very close to each other. So if your causal plane is in alignment, you can do things like the dream state marketing that I teach all of my clients how to do, so that we're not spending all this time doing all this 3D marketing when we're reaching out for super conscious and higher frequency clients. And being able to connect to those dream clients, right? We spend so much time finding those dream clients or that dream job or that dream whatever, but then we're like going to find it in the here and now instead of, well, okay, well, if it's in the dreams, then I should be able to find it in my dreams, and then when I wake up, I'll have an email. And the astral plane's a really interesting place to play. But the silver lunar dragon brings in that to really be able to balance that peace and harmony. You can't astral project if you're stressed out. You can't believe the channelings that you're receiving when you don't have self-trust, which is all necessary, which is why we have the DNA activation of the solar dragon. So why I always have them working together, because they really do play off each other. I mean, look at the cards. They're the exact same card with different colors and then mirror images of each other, right? Sorry if you can hear squeaking. My dog has his toy. He's coming with us on the trip, so we didn't take him on his hike this morning, but that means he's a little bit crazy. Yeah, I gotta let him out. So 1 second. He's being crazy. He's just a little puppy, and I usually take him hiking every single morning, except for this morning because we were still finishing packing for our trip. So the last dragon before we do our invocation is the source dragon or Sophia dragon. So if you are familiar with, keep looking down there. If you're familiar with the Sophia code, then the source dragon is also the Sophia dragon. So this hermaphroditic, androgynous being that is able to see the value in something, feel the value of it, and then birth it immediately. They have this unique organ called a heart womb. All dragons have them, but the Sophia dragons, the source dragons, are the original Seraphile dragons that are the creation. They're the bridge from source into existence. So when you're talking about dragon mythology, which I have not talked a whole lot about recently, but I'm going to be diving back more into it because it really is super important for what's going on. The dragons are the ones who birth creation into creation. So when you have the separation of consciousness from God or from source, there's a bridge into this universe, and that's through the heart womb of these Sophia dragons. And everything in the universe was birthed from the womb of a Sophia dragon. Even our planet first originally came from a Sophia dragon, and that dragon birthed us and then chose to, the soul that was born is Gaia, Sophia Gaia, and she chose to be incarnated as our planet. So the source dragon is source, right? It's the connection straight directly to source. Attunes you to the infinite. Be still in the silence, magic can happen, and be in the moment. So the reason why I pulled this dragon out as a part of this dragon invocation is because of the auspiciousness of this specific solar eclipse being on the summer solstice during so many planets being in retrograde during 2020, which has already been a crazy freaking year, and we're halfway through the year now. So I really felt this moment of being still and being silent, because when an eclipse happens, this eclipse is going to happen because it's only 99%, is actually going to be really fast. It's like less than a whole minute, if I remember correctly, that it's going to be like in the ring of fire phase before it's already moving out, versus other solar eclipses where it goes into totality, it can last longer, right? This isn't going to be, so it's going to be literally be in the moment. So if you can be there, or even if you're going to log on, like, you don't get to be a couple minutes late and still see the show. You have to be on right then. And again, it might be, I'm going to be in the middle of nowhere with no Wi-Fi service, so I'm not going to be watching the solar eclipse live on Wi-Fi, but I can at 11 o'clock go outside in the desert and connect to what is happening on the other side of the planet. And then that magic can happen. That's like this dragon is holding the infinity sign. And if you really think about these two dragons together, if they were to be like right next to each other and their tails were to be like interwound with each other, they also are forming an infinity sign, or you can like see it go across the two, but they're connected. So that divine masculine, divine feminine, really being able to connect to this infinite part of yourself, that it's not that I'm too masculine or that I'm too feminine, is that you really do find that balance, you find that peace where you're able to have magic happen, because magic is nature. The Fibonacci sequence, the golden ratio, in very many ways is magical because of how perfect and precise it is, and yet it is a perfect balance. And nature itself can exist without both the masculine and feminine aspects together, creating something completely new. So my intention for today's dragon invocation really is to clear out all masculine trauma, to heal all masculine trauma, to balance out those traumas and healings with that feminine nurturing, clearing out any feminine traumas or woundings that might be going on as well. Your feminine might be wounded because of some things that had happened with a man, but it's actually affecting your feminine energy. So it's going to be a complete reboot of your masculine and feminine energies, complete clearing, complete healing, complete activation, getting all of your cells in your entire body onto the crystalline DNA activation, turning on all of your psychic resources, all of your mission, really inspiring you to be creative force in this world that moves forward with change to create the new earth that we all are envisioning in our causal chakras, and now need to put in the work to be still, to be quiet, to figure out where the magic is going to happen, what steps do I need to take, what magic potions do I need to mix together to really and truly connect to source and be a channel for the change that I want to be in the world. Okay, perfect. So I'm going to just show the dragons one more time for you guys to connect real quick. And whenever you're ready, you can go ahead and close your eyes. Take some nice deep breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth, in through the nose, out through the mouth. One more in through the nose, out through the mouth. And I want you now to really envision the solar dragon coming forth and wrapping you in these delicious golden flames that don't burn. You don't feel any heat. You do feel sensation, maybe not. And with this golden solar dragon, just allow him and allow the flames to just start licking your chakras. So all of your chakras, all the way from source down to the earth star, down into Gaia, all of your chakras connecting, and let this dragon weave his kundalini, so a spiral shape, like DNA, down your chakras and back up with his flame, with this fiery flame, cleaning, healing, activating your DNA. Allow that ring of fire energy from the solar eclipse to truly wrap around every single one of your chakras, to truly and completely cleanse away any vows, bindings, oaths, cords, all of it being incinerated, neutralized, all of that energy dissipating back into the void. Just take another moment here to allow the solar dragon to work his magic. Anywhere else, if you have any ailments, any parts of your body you specifically want to direct him to, make sure that you're sending those flames. These golden solar flames filled with the essence of the divine masculine to provide everything that you'll ever need and to protect you in all ways. To be the injection of inspiration for you to lead your biggest, brightest, and most badass life. To stop worrying about if you were the man, how would it work out, and instead channel the energy of the man and getting it done, whatever it is for you. Doing the thing that's on your heart and allowing this DNA activation to really give you that motivation, that drive, that inspiration to continue forward. And as that flame is going, we see the silver lunar dragon come in, and she starts to blow this silvery mist all around that starts to dampen the flame. This steam starts to come off, really cleansing away all of the debris, making sure that all energies have been neutralized into a form that can be used for creation. Injecting all of your chakras now, allowing them to be peaceful, to harmonize with your unique frequency. There's no more dissonance in your body. You're at complete harmony. You're at complete oneness. As this silver lunar dragon comes over and blows her silver mist over all of your chakras, extinguishing that flame of the golden solar dragon and allowing this beautiful steam to come off of them. This passion, this fire, this lust for life as the two energies mingle together in each one of your chakras, allowing for that fresh new soil to be laid for source dragon to be coming in and inspiring you even further to create magic and to be in the moment, which is where magic truly happens. And now seeing that source dragon come in and swirling around in this infinity sign, melding and mixing together the energies of the golden solar and silver lunar dragons to truly and completely allow you to stand in your masculine power with wisdom while bathing you in that divine feminine light and just holding that space, that nurturing space necessary for creation. The masculine comes in and injects the idea and the spark is made, but the woman, the feminine, is the one who holds the idea, who creates. All matter comes from the maternal side, and the patterns come from the paternal. So how can you change the patterns in your life and in your family and really decide what truly matters to you the most? And then lead your life only by doing the things that actually matter to you personally in your unique mission, and nothing that matters to the rest of the world, because no one else matters. Nothing matters except for what you dictate matters. And now, with all three of those dragons encircling you, take another couple of deep breaths and just receive this vocal toning from me, from my voice, from my soul frequency to yours, to really solidify this blessing on this solstice day, to call in the magic, to ignite within you the fire, the passion, the lust for life, the mission that is on your heart that is now activated in your DNA, so that you can take the actions necessary, so that you really can take those massively terrifying actions that will keep you in integrity with your standards. And that combination is what allows you to radically trust that you are being guided by your higher self, by your dragons, by God, whatever it is that you call. And just now, take a moment to sit here and receive this dragon invocation from my soul to yours. Oiro vegane tamashi oreve ame. Oe varo virio mata. Oe vodega bodega. Oe voto viria bodelio. Machiganto. Ambarigido solele sulla patikuno, e maniangoriri ovia non idreko, avioni miliona aviona, ayurugi avario mantana, avariongo viria, Evaria mio, ambariani onge ave thorita zio mea, ambario viari amiongo viatio, evario via mio, obeana, ango viava, hero, hiruario viu, Iru, 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 abiu tomiji agase, iru ariolu bio no vale, one nonne solea, iru lani lunea, hani loni omea, ne obia biombea, ambari uvi uria mio diabana, Ambariari uviambeo manana. Hey nana, hey aniano maneo, iru iru iu, ave, oh, 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 Hambari angori ayo ayo Handari ango ay shikende asha Ishri amba sheri ori anchi ando vere abangari ambori o Hambari ango ay Hambi ambori ge abi ongoro ango Hambariango Eliani Ambariambandegea Handariandoroge Ale Ambea Shokova Hambariano Nove Ale Ambaraneo Novoro Emiriambarave Aniangala Patania Hambarianjatono Vono Angriambambarea Hambariangolo Potono Gove Ambea Nasha Tata Hegriambambare Amanagolo Potanea Bambariambacala Panana no Modapona Hambariam banana pata kalapana monomo von Mariam manova hey ya hey ya hey ya Himbara mana mano me no me na me amane ameno way up way up Go ahead and take a nice deep breath. Whenever you're ready, come back and open your eyes. All of the cells in your body have now been fortified with dragon energy, completely cleared of all traumas, completely healed of all pains and sufferings. All lack, all scarcity, all fear has been obliterated from your energy field, and you've been activated in pure, unconditional love of pure creation energy for you to go and make of the next year of your life however you choose. Make the next 6 months so powerful and so amazing, and lead with your heart. Now, one last thing, today is a very, very powerful day. So a couple of things. One, I'm feeling the need to help you all push out some of that heavy energy. So just take a second and focus on any heaviness that's still in your body. Push it down to your feet. All the way down into your feet, and then use your feet chakras to push that down into Pachamama, down all the way into Gaia. Okay, good. Now everyone is cleared. There we go. There was still a little bit of residual. That is all the grounding that you need to do nowadays. There's no need to be grounding the way that we used to think about it. We're trying to be high vibe. Grounding has actually led to a lot of people going to crazy intense meditations and then trying as hard as possible to get back to the feeling that they were in before they walked into their meditation, which is not the goal at all. So it's, if there's any heavy lower vibrations, you want to push those down into Pachamama, but you want to feel those tinglies. You want to feel that lightness. You want to feel that airiness. So the second thing is, because today is a day that a lot of people around the world will be doing magic rituals, you can recognize that a lot of people don't understand the activation part, so they do the healing and the clearing and they do the cord cuttings and they send all this neutral energy out, or even traumatized energy out, but remove it from their own field. And then it just ends up being like little extra bits of information. So you'll see the Schumann resonance just like go off the chart, and everyone's going to be talking about all the extra energy, and maybe you're getting migraines or all these other things are going on. What you can do is imagine yourself in this like giant golden bubble, but it's not even a bubble, it's more like a sieve, so that you can be going around, and I kind of imagine like a butterfly net where everywhere I walk I'm actually like collecting all of that spare energy that other people are just releasing because they don't know how to refocus it. And the second the energy touches my field, it neutralizes. So whether or not they had neutralized it during their own ritual or not is irrelevant. Whatever energy is out there free floating, it hits my bubble, it hits my sieve, it gets collected, and then I store it in, like, essentially I imagine it as like a rocket fuel tank. so that when later, when I go to be in creative mode after this weekend, where I'm going to be taking 36 hours off of electronics, and next week I really dive into creation mode on the 6-month mastermind that I'm going to be launching in July, I have all of this energy from all of these people out there that were it's not like being an energy vampire where you like tap into someone and you take their energy, right? This is energy that they have been releasing. It's out there in the world, and it's out there to be used. So set that intention. I would really highly suggest that you just collect all the extra energy that you can from any work that's being done. Just ever, but on these high holy days, I tend to do it a little bit more. I do it in general, but on the days like this, I make sure to be very, very conscious of it, because there really is going to be a whole lot of extra energy just floating around, and why not utilize it if you know how, and then you learn how to focus those energies. And that's what we talk about in Super Conscious Leaders. That's what I teach you when you work with me one-on-one. So that is all I have for you guys. Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your beautiful, beautiful Saturday. Happy summer solstice. Happy winter solstice. Happy solar eclipse. New moon in Cancer tomorrow. Just all these wonderful, beautiful things. Thank you so much for being here. I love you all. I will see you next week. Again, regular time, Sunday morning, 10 a.m. for the Adoration of the Divine Masculine. I love you. Have a good day.